Oh, hey everybody. Today is Friday, April 19th, 2024, 10:26 a.m. Oops, sorry. I'm going to turn this. Okay. This is Tampa Bay Chemtrail report. It doesn't look like there's much wind. I'm going by that bamboo, that plant that's on my porch. So I think I'll go outside. I don't think that there's no wind to mess with the camera. Oh, let me clean the camera lens also. Sorry, I always forget to do that. And then the video's all blurry. Okay. So I wanted to do a video sooner, but I broke my phone. It took me a week to get a new one and get it all set up and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, after the day of the eclipse was just insane. It was unlike anything I've ever seen. Literally, there were chemtrails in the shape of train tracks. That's what I've never seen. I've seen the same amount, which was overwhelming. But I have never seen them do those train tracks. And the train tracks were following the path of the sun across the sky. That was crazy. They were trying to hide something about that eclipse. And not just the eclipse, but the sun. It's the sun for the entire day. I mean, the eclipse only lasted, what, like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that? But they followed the sun across the arc of the sky with those crazy train track. I mean, jeez. I don't know, man. It's very strange. It would be nice if things were completely black and white, but in this case, it was pretty well black and white, because the day after the eclipse, it was like all the chemtrail planes just disappeared. I mean, it was unbelievable. And it's that way now. Now, there are, when I say I wish everything were completely black and white, that would be really nice. It would make everything very simple and clear and easier to analyze and come to conclusions about. But, there are a few planes. After the eclipse, they were doing a lot of X's in the sky, and for some reason, they do these X's, they do these designs. Some people have seen like pentagrams. I've never seen a pentagram. I've seen pieces of pentagrams. I've seen triangles, but I've never seen an actual entire pentagram. But definitely I've seen triangles, and for 2 or 3 days following the eclipse, there were a lot of X's. Like the day after the eclipse, there were like 4 or 5 X's simultaneously. Why do they make X's in the sky? 107 gave an explanation, but I kind of think 107 is an idiot. I don't trust anything that guy says for whatever reason. It's just, me and Phil Godleski, we don't trust 107. Anyway, well, I don't know if Phil doesn't trust him. I think Phil just doesn't like him, and he says he's wrong all the time, like about a lot of stuff. To me, I just don't like pompous, arrogant, important people, and that, to me, that's the way 107 is. He's a pompous, arrogant, self-important person that thinks he's more than he is. I mean, yeah, if you think you're really important and you are really important, that's one thing. But if you think you're really important and you're not, then that's a little bit problematic as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so yeah, they just disappear, and it's being confirmed to me. And it's the reason it's taking time is because it's so subtle. Subtle things are hard to pin down, but once you pin them down, then they're not so subtle anymore, right? And that's kind of the way this seems to be for me. Is that when we have a lot of chemtrail coverage, the weather is just nasty. It's sticky. And it's just kind of, it's hard to explain. It has to be an energy thing. I mean, it's just oppressive, because the days after the eclipse, when the planes basically disappeared, not entirely, like they were out this morning, but now they're gone. But there were a couple days when I would say they were completely gone. It was just like literally people on the street would say, "Man, it's a beautiful day." I mean, you can feel it, And my theory on that is that they've learned to quantify suffering, and the way they quantify it is with That's a word they use, loosh, L-O-O-S-H. They quantify suffering with loosh. And if you think about it, if you're herding cattle, right? And that's the way they look at us. They look at us like we're chattel, C-H-A-T-T-E-L, chattel, which is very close to cattle, right? They look at us as chattel. We literally are chattel, actually, to them, based on our birth certificate and that legal fiction identity, which is our name in all caps and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's a different subject, but we literally are chattel to them. Anyway, they if you're herding cattle, right, and you got 2 cows that are out of line, then you go over and you stick them real hard, or whatever. You don't have to be gentle with them because there's only 2 of them. But if you have 2,000, so you could say that's like acute loosh, right? And acute loosh is like targeted individuals or somebody who's deemed a threat, and they target them and they really lean on them really hard, and they injure them, or they rendition them, or they beat them, or they get them fired, or whatever they do. They really target them hard. That's like acute loosh. But when you're dealing with an entire herd of, say, 10,000 cattle, let's just say, well, you don't want acute. You don't want to use acute methodologies to get them going in the direction you want them to go. You want to be more gentle because you don't want them freaking out, right? If it's 2, you don't really care if they freak out. But if it's 10,000, you don't want them freaking out. So you have to use subtle and gentle methodologies to get them to do what you want them to do, right? So that's where, and in my theory, this is my theory, that's where the low-level loosh comes in. That's just like low-level, almost like subconscious suffering, just discomfort. And so that's how they impose suffering on the population at large. So that's my theory. Anyway, Tampa Bay Chemtrail Report, Friday, April 19, 2024, about 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Clearwater, Florida, United States of America. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Peace, blessings, liberty to you and yours. Bye.